What up, muchachos y muchachas? I am live. How are you guys tonight? I've got a full lineup of stories today. I kind of snatched my wig. I was very busy as always. But yeah, there's a lot going on today and here to report it. What's up, guys? What up? What up? Be sure to like, share, subscribe. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Unravel with Natly Denise. I really appreciate you guys. For those listening on audio, thank you so much for your audio support. I really appreciate it. What's going on today? Let's see. Did a lot of Trafficking Alliance work today. Now I have the logo that way. So a lot of people are starting to volunteer for the cause, and I'm super excited for it. So many people with different skills are starting to sign up, and you know, it's a little bit surreal because I'm like, wow, I'm building my education piece, my tool. Hey, what's up? Oh, Patriot Politics. What up, Patriot Politics? That's my friend. I have never seen you on my stream before. What's up, Patriot Politics? Appreciate you being here. Guys, so I got 2 strikes on my main channel. This is on my main channel is where I typically do stream this live, but I got 2 strikes in the past. I think it was like 2 days ago. So this is my second channel. Thank God, you know, I'm able to actually post on here. So if you can, please share this link or share the channel with your friends who are interested in daily news, because this is where I stream the daily news. Tiki Torch Gate. Yes, we're going to talk about Tiki Torch Gate. So anyway, I'm also building an education piece. If you guys are interested in your area to learn more about human exploitation, I will patriotic politics. Patriot Politics, drop your link in the chat. There's going to be more people that join up the stream. YouTube has a little bit of time before they notify people. But anyway, some updates. Anyway, Trafficking Alliance, a lot of people are signing up. If you have not signed up to be a volunteer, if you can volunteer at least once a month and you have a special skill, that would be fantastic. Whether it's content creation, research, anything like that, we can always use help at Trafficking Alliance. We're going to help combat trafficking as well as hold these organizations accountable. We need a watchdog out there. So Trafficking Alliance, I just, you know, I keep thinking of these things like as I go. I'm like, you know what? We're kind of like a watchdog, but we're also an alliance and an organization, you know, vowing to combat trafficking at many facets. So there's a lot going on with Trafficking Alliance. Just started it a week and a half ago, and it's already picking up. So I'm super duper excited for that. All right, what else is going on? Lots of freedom marches. Hey, look out, Dallas, guys, November 13th. Be on the lookout for something that may be coming down the pipeline. November 13th. I can't conclude the details just yet because I gotta wait for those details to be concluded. But if you're all for freedom, cool beans. What up, guys? Welcome in. Thank you for tuning in. All right, let's go ahead and get started. A lot more people join in as the stream continues. So let's get started. Let's start with Tiki Torch Gate. So there was a bunch of clowns that posed for this like supremacist type of like thing, you know, and they tried to make one look like 𝘱𝑰𝑗, I think. Which I think is pretty hilarious because like, how can you like pretend to be somebody else? You know, there's always great researchers out there that like know how to find you. And they found these clowns. So this is from Post Millennial. McAuliffe campaign condemns Tiki Torch hoax after spending all day spreading it. Oh gosh. So following the shocking photos of a group dressed as white supremacists during the Glenn Youngkin campaign stop in Charlottesville, Virginia, the Terry McAuliffe campaign has condemned the actions despite spreading the hoax themselves all day. This is crazy. Yes, I do have thoughts on SCOTUS, Kavanaugh, and ACB. Yes, I will give you those thoughts. I will give you those thoughts right after. The stunt was revealed to be the actions of the Lincoln Project. Oh my gosh, the Lincoln Project is so scandalous. The Lincoln Project has been The Lincoln Project has been in so many scandals in which they do not want to be associated with, because they have to do a lot with child's exploitation type stuff, you know? And so now they're associated with that, as well as being racist. What the heck is going on? This is crazy. Okay. Let's take a look. What happened today is disgusting and distasteful, and we condemn it in the strongest terms. Those involved should immediately apologize. Of course, these people are associated with the Lincoln Project, which I would imagine would have maybe some close ties to McAuliffe, but I'm not sure. You know, they just kind of have like the same ideology. I'm just saying. So they said they should apologize. The campaign manager for McAuliffe said, Chris Walling told senior vice news reporter Cameron Joseph, the Democratic Party of Virginia, along with its coordinated partners and its affiliates, did not have any role in the events that happened outside the Youngkin campaign bus stop today. Another statement from the campaign reads, that happened in Charlottesville 4 years ago was a tragedy and one of the darkest moments in our state's recent memories. And it's this and is an event to not be taken lightly. McAuliffe's statement continued. For anyone who is to accuse our staff of having a role in this event, it's shameful and wrong. The statement continued. Despite the disgust expressed by the campaign regarding the hoax, McAuliffe's campaign members spread the hoax across social media. Yo, this is a hot mess. Okay, this is a hot mess. Youngkin, on the other hand, saw through the stunt, though pointing his finger at the wrong culprit. When asked about Friday's incident, Youngkin told NBC9 in a press statement, I think they work for Terry McAuliffe. I'm sure that he sent them. They'll do anything to win, and he's doing anything to win. So he's paying people to show up and act silly at her. Okay, so let me summarize this. All right. So listen. So this is his opponent, right? This is a gubernatorial candidate, Terry McAuliffe for Virginia. As you guys know, and I've been covering this every night about Virginia, there seems to be something silly hitting the fan every single day at Virginia, from, you know, them wrongfully dragging parents out of the school board meetings, for which one of the parents in particular, he had a big thing to argue about his daughter and being sexually assaulted at the school. And, even Obama condemned the parent, and they were like, it's fake outrage. And, it's nothing but like Trump stuff. And you know what I mean? But the judge actually came down and they were like, no, the kid is actually guilty. He did what he did. And he actually, admitted to it according to police records. So then there's feds at the school board meetings and all that, trying to police parents. And so that buffoonery is going on, right? There's just like a bunch of stuff going on in Virginia. God bless Virginia. I'm so sorry, guys. If you're a patriot in Virginia, my heart goes out to you. But okay, so that's what's been going on. Now, Terry McAuliffe is the Democratic gubernatorial candidate. I'm gonna assume, or he's one of the candidates. We'll just say that. Now, he has also advocated for this type of stuff, like parents have no say in school board meetings, or like they have no say in this education. He's actually like filmed saying that, right? Now, okay, he's going against obviously a Republican, and what he's saying is like what these guys are doing, they're acting silly at my so they're trying to act as if this was that his opponent's campaign, that they had supremacists at his campaign. And as you can see, Andy Ngo, who is ardently against, these types of people who, do the wrong types of stuff, like, Antifa people and all that. So he basically called them out, and he was like, the people dressed as alt-right Charlottesville style supporters of the Republican candidate for Virginia governor have been revealed to be Democratic operatives engaged in a hoax. Anti-Republican Party group Project Lincoln has claimed responsibility. And then it continues. Charlie Olof, social media manager for Terry McAuliffe, a Democrat running to be Virginia governor, was one of the people who helped promote the fake alt-right protest involving hired Democrat operatives. The stunt was meant to damage Republican Glenn Youngkin, who is the opponent of McAuliffe. Okay. So basically they faked this whole thing that, we're here for Youngkin, like they were pretending like we're here holding tiki torches like Charlottesville, and we're here to, you know, support Youngkin or whatever. But then they found out to be fakes. Wow. At a campaign stop for Glenn Youngkin this morning, people were holding tiki torches and chanting, "We're all for Glenn." Yo, these people are so silly. Let me tell you, these people are so silly. Wrote McAuliffe campaign social media manager Charlie Olaf. That tweet has since been deleted. Disgusting reference to the 2017 Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, he continued. Christina Freundlich, I guess. The Unite the Right rally was one of the darkest days in the Commonwealth's history. This is who Glenn Youngkin's supporters are. So this is a deleted tweet, apparently. And so Elizabeth Holmes, who says these men approached Glenn Youngkin's bus as it pulled up, saying what sounded like, "We're all in for Glenn." Well, here they are standing in front of the bus as his campaign event at Guadalajara started. The Unite the Right rally. Okay, we already read that. This is disgusting and disqualified, said Jen Goodman, who is reacting prematurely, I would say, because as we know now, it was fake. Representative Eric Swalwell weighed in at this time. Eric Fartwell said, "Birds of a feather." You can't write this stuff, guys. You can't write it. This is a movie, guys. This is all a movie. Oh my gosh, I swear. Okay, so anyway, he says, "Birds of a feather." Lauren Windsor acknowledged her hand in the incident, working for the collaboration with Lincoln Project, says, "In my capacity as a communications consultant, I worked with Project Lincoln to coordinate today's Youngkin action in Charlottesville. I joined them in the fight to defend our democracy from left-wing extremists and call for Glenn Youngkin to denounce Trump's very fine people." Okay. "We'll continue to hold Glenn Youngkin accountable." Like, they're all like faking, you know? So anyway, Tiki Torch Gate. So there are reports. Thank you for praying for Virginia. There needs to be a lot of prayer for Virginia, guys, because this poor state, I mean, they're going through a lot. Okay. They're going through a lot right now. So there were tweets in which I can't show on this platform, which, by the way, guys, I will start multi-streaming on Rumble. If you guys are on Rumble, or if you prefer Rumble, I will be multi-streaming there starting, I believe, on Monday. So look out for that. I'm going to like work the wires to get it through, you know? So anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yes. So they did identify these individuals. Let me zoom in on this picture because it is actually on, I believe they said it was on NBC 29. So apparently we can share what is on public. So anyway, and I'm talking about the internet researchers of the world, were able to locate these people, like the dude, the second dude in line. They were able to locate him. They were able to locate the chick, and also I believe one other person who is like some manager of some sort. So anyway, they were able to identify them, and these people who were identified, they put their Twitters on private. Now, I can't show that because obviously, you know, I'm on a sensitive platform right now. So, but it's just curious why they would do this. And then, you know, if this was a genuine thing, why would they put themselves on some sort of private? So anyway, this is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Thank you, MRN Ice One. I really appreciate that. Y'all hit the like button. Yes, guys, please hit the like button. Also, if you are interested in my Rumble, I am on there as Natly Denise. Go find me. I'm on there. I upload all of my channel, all of these uploads. I back them up there. You guys have said that. Patriot Politics did ask a question in the chat. I wanted to give some attention to the question. What do I think of the Supreme Justices? I believe you said Kavanaugh, Amy. So this is my opinion on them. I don't quite know what's going on with them. Obviously, we've advocated for these justices, you know, Kavanaugh in particular. Sorry. Didn't mean that. Knocked something over on my desk. Sorry, Mama. I have my doggies right here. So they got spooked. Okay, so what was I saying? Oh, yeah. These justices who, you know, this is just an impromptu answering a question. What do I think about them? it's confusing because we advocated for them, right? We advocated for Kavanaugh when they were falsely accusing him of all these horrific things, oh, he would, back in high school, he did this or whatever. Why do I have this on? I need to take this off. Okay. He did all these, and obviously there was like not a lot of claims to it. And then Amy Coney Barrett, who, obviously they didn't want to confirm her, and she ended up getting confirmed. And then they're starting to what seems to be cower away from what seems to be a constitutionalist. So the only thing I can say is, it's confusing because, again, we advocated for these people. Why aren't they upholding their what seems to be duty? And also what I could also say is, I don't know if maybe there's something down the pipeline that they would have to confirm later, or that they would have to assess that they're kind of putting on a show, maybe like putting on a show until that happens, so that way they can seem somewhat fair to the leftist tactics. But that's the only thing I can say. It's confusing with the Supreme Justices, and it's frustrating too, because we did advocate for them at one point, right? So anyway, hey Red Eye Bradley, thank you so much for modding for me tonight. I really appreciate you. Woohoo! Joining the party. So let's get back to the news, guys. I've got a lot of news to cover. Ice Cube exits Sony comedy. Oh, hell no. After declining the cocoa juice. You guys know what the cocoa juice is? In the arm, the poke in the arm. Yeah, he declined it. And so he's exiting a Sony comedy that he was going to star in with Jack Black, because he's not getting the juice, guys. Ice Cube, and this is coming from the Hollywood Reporter, Ice Cube has departed Sony's upcoming comedy. Oh, hell no. And how ironic is that? How ironic is this title? Oh, hell no. He's literally saying, oh, hell no, to this whole thing, in which he would have co-starred with Jack Black after declining a request from producers to get poked in the arm. Sources tell the Hollywood Reporter. Sony had no comment. A personal representative for the star declined to comment. WME, his agency, declined to comment. Oh, Hell No is being produced by Mac Tomlak and Black, who both did not offer to comment. Ice Cube and Black partnered on the project in June. The Sony film was looking to shoot this winter in Hawaii with 𝘱𝑗𝘗 Sakurai. Trying to be respectful. I can't pronounce everything. I apologize. The Sony film was looking to shoot this winter in Hawaii with okay, I'm not going to try that again. Producers over Oh Hell No made the request to cast on the project would need to be poked in the arm. The film is pushing back its production to start. Black injured himself in June while filming a gag for the last episode Conan, but still attached to the project. Sources tell The Hollywood Reporter, the studio is looking to find a replacement for Ice Cube, who walked from a $9 million payday. Whoa. Wow. So throughout the planned apocalypse, Ice Cube actually promoted mask wearing. In August, he thanked the star and others for the donation of 2,000 face masks to use as a personal protective equipment. In April of 2020, amid the COVID-19 lockdowns, he unveiled Check Yourself Before You Wreck Yourself branded t-shirts featuring the star in a mask in a partnership with the manufacturer Blackout, with proceeds benefiting frontline health workers. So let me just pause and say, I think a lot of people, including myself, were a little spooked about this, at the very beginning, I'll say. And that's because, we didn't know what this was. We didn't know what was going on. Everybody's like advocating shut down this, shut down that. And a lot of people didn't know what was going on. So I'm just going to be a little bit of a devil's advocate here. I know that he did promote mask wearing on all these things. Now, earlier on the planned apocalypse, a lot of people were the same way, right? Let's give a little grace and mercy. A lot of people were the same way because we didn't know what was going on, or, that this was happening. Now, when a lot more data started rolling out, I can then say, yeah, there was starting to be some sort of signs that, something else might be going on, but I'm not going to go into that. So I'm just going to put that in there. So anyway, he might have promoted this. I think I want to say I want to say it was like a few months ago, he actually did go out and he said something. I think he said something like combating the mainstream narrative somehow. I want to say it was Ice Cube. I know it was a few other people, but I definitely think it was also Ice Cube who was like putting out this type of, you know, content. I was like kind of just questioning everything that was going on. So I could see that he did have some sort of something turn on, you know, about what was going around this, this planned apocalypse, I would say. So, okay, so Ice Cube, there's the news. Ice Cube saying, nope, not doing it. Oh, hell no. He's saying, oh, hell no, we're not doing this, highlighting this. Oh, hell no. He's walking off a $9 million deal. Oh gosh, let's see what you guys have to say. Literally Newsweek or Time Magazine regarding the riots. You recognize the baseline. There's a correlation between principles and poison poke. A couple of family members are completely what they usually, I mean, that's going to be in every single family. I think we're all experiencing that, Ruth. You know, many families are experiencing that at the very moment. It's this combating ideologies, although there's a lot of, you know, I have to say there's a lot of stuff coming out. Anyway, continuing on, judge blocks the Biden admin from firing unpoked employees whose religious exemptions are pending. A Washington, D.C. court judge temporarily blocked the Biden administration from firing unpoked federal employees who sued the government over religious exemptions. They say none of the civilian employee plaintiffs will be subject to discipline while his or her request for a religious exemption is pending, District Judge Colleen Kohler-Kotelly ordered, Fox News reports. Active duty military personnel whose religious exemptions have been denied also cannot be disciplined while the outcome of their appeals are pending. So I actually went through this yesterday with, hey, Melissa, what's going on, girl? Hey. Thank you for joining in on the mod and joining in on the chat. We always love having you. So I actually went over this yesterday very specifically, how the Navy is actually doing like some sort of blanket religious exemption, you know, rejection basically. And what I can say is it seems to be, now I'm not the definitive say on this, but it seems to be with documentation that the proper protocols and chains of command are not being followed. Okay. Again, I'm not saying that is true. I'm just saying that there's some sort of documentation that might illustrate that. Okay. So this is actually some news that a judge is blocking the Biden administration from disciplining the military, which is, wow, quite a development. The Biden administration is shown an unprecedented cavalier attitude towards the rule of law and an utter ineptitude at basic constitutional contours, Michael Yoder, the plaintiff's attorney, told Fox News. This combination is dangerous to the American liberty, he continued. Thankfully, our Constitution protects and secures the right to remain free from religious persecution and coercion. With this order, we are one step closer to putting the Biden administration back in its place by limiting. Oh, wow. This is okay. By the way, this is just a quote. I'm not saying this. Okay. This is totally the judge saying this. Okay. This is a quote from the judge, but this is quite surprising. Let me take a swig. He said, excuse me, with this order, we are one step closer to putting the Biden administration back in its place by limiting government to its enumerated powers. It's time citizens and courts say no to tyranny. Oh, wow. Okay. The Constitution does not need to be rewritten. It needs to be read. Oh, cheese and crackers, Judge. Wow. Oh, I think you can hear it in my tone. Yep. That is huge. That's actually big defiance on the Biden administration. So it just has you, there's people out there. There's people out there. I'm just saying, this is quite, it's a little bit encouraging. Continue on. Let's pivot on to the next story. SOS Australia. I know I have some Australian listeners out there, Australian watchers. Big prayers up for Australia. They're going through it. It's like what they're trying to do here, but like on steroids, because they're like 10, 20, 30 steps ahead, maybe even 100. They're really cracking down on Australia. And you guys saw this, protesters, they tried to protest. They tried to go out in the streets. Now, we don't quite know what is going on in Australia, because there was some sort of like no-fly zone on the drones and stuff like that. And, because of that, we don't have any like up-to-date news on whether or not they're okay, if they're, still protesting out on the streets. I know that they have cracked down on the media to even share that type of, illustration of them protesting. So anyway, Queensland State Penalties Enforcement Registry, SPER, is chasing a whopping 3,046 unpaid fines and a total of 5.2 million, targeting 2,755 individuals and businesses accused of breaching public health rules during the cocoa plantpocalypse. According to the Brisbane Times, 56.4% of fines issued have been paid in full or set up with a payment plan. However, SPER is currently undertaking active enforcement on another 18.4% of fines worth roughly $1 million. It's willing to go to significant lengths. Listen to this. According to spokesman at an SPER, the methods of enforcement may include garnishing bank accounts or wages, registering charges over property, or suspending driver's licenses. The remaining overdue fines are either under investigation or still able to be paid without further action being taken. Queensland also said they are encountering problems with the cost of putting returning residents in hotel quarantine. Thus far, more than 44,000 invoices have been issued, and in about a tenth of them are significantly overdue. Debt collectors have been called in to deal with those who have not paid up. Queenslanders rightly expect travelers will pay for their hotel quarantine stays and not leave taxpayers to foot the bill, the Queensland Health spokeswoman told The Times. In August, Deputy Police Commissioner Steve Golszewski said that the police will increase their presence in the community to crack down on those flouting public health orders. I've even seen, I'm just going to pause here, I've seen where like the police has gone hardcore in Australia. I've seen one viral video where they were checking the coffees. You know how like the health measures are typically like if you're going to eat or drink, you can take off your mask, obviously, to chew and all that. Well, there was a Australian citizen who was walking around with a coffee cup, and I'm going to assume his mask was down. And the police came to check the cup to see whether or not there was coffee in the cup. And because it was empty, he basically instructed him, no, you got to put your mask back on. I mean, it's getting really, really, really intense out there. Our community can expect to see things like RBT type interception on the roads, where we will check to see if people have the right reasons to be out, he said. The community has nothing to worry about if they fit within those exemptions and those valid purposes for going out. Of course, people need to go out and get the essential supplies, and for essential purposes, they have nothing to fear if they're going to do the right thing, or trying, and our police officers will help them. So anyway, they're basically cracking down on them. And I think I even saw a different report where they're even going after their bank accounts. I mean, Australia is going through it bad, guys. Bad. So prayers up for Australia, especially those of you that are listening to me or those of you that watch me. My heart goes out to you guys so much. Prayers up. So today, switching gears. This is coming from the Associated Press. So Biden apparently visited the Vatican, and there's a video clip that I just found really weird where he was like, he gave the Pope something, and he said something about like a baseball player and his race, and it cut out, but it was just weird. But the Vatican cancels live TV broadcast of Biden greeting Pope. This is strange. It's just strange. That's all I'm saying. It's just strange. The Vatican on Thursday abruptly canceled the planned live broadcast of the U.S. resident Joe Biden meeting Pope Francis, the latest restriction to media coverage of the Holy See that sparked complaints from the White House and Vatican accredited journalists. The live broadcast of Biden's Friday visit was trimmed to cover just the arrival of the president's motorcade in the courtyard of the Apostolic Palace. Vatican spokesman Matteo Bruni said that the revised plan reflected normal procedure established during the Cocoa Planpocalypse for all visiting heads of the state or government. That protocol also has meant an 18-month ban on any independent media being in the room for the beginning and end of the audience, as would normally be the case for a visiting head of state. Canceled was the live coverage of Biden actually greeting Francis in the palace throne room, as well as the live footage of the two men sitting down to begin their private talks in Francis' library at which time the cameras would have stopped running, which is what in the world? Like, you would have to think, this is a bit weird, right? Like, why would you cancel live coverage of the resident meeting the Pope, right? It's because it's weird because it's not like it's lengthy anyways. It's not like there's so much. It's basically a photo op. It's basically a, greeting. So it's just a little strange why they would cover like the greeting of the, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, that's just a bit different. The Vatican said it would provide edited footage of course they would. Of course they would. It said the Vatican would provide edited footage of the encounter after the fact to accredited media. Of course. Accredited media. Bruni didn't say why the Vatican had originally announced fuller live coverage, only to dial it back to on the eve of the visit. Biden, the second Catholic U.S. resident, has met Francis 3 previous times, but this will be his first as resident. The audience was closely monitored since the U.S. bishops are due to meet in a few weeks for an annual fall convention, with one of the agenda items inspired by conservatives who contend that Biden's supportive for the medical procedure that eliminates babies' rights should disqualify him from receiving the communion. Though any document that emerges from the bishops' conference is not expected to mention Biden by name, it's possible that there could be a clear message of rebuke. Well, I mean, like, if you're meeting with this guy and you're smiling and all these things, I mean, that's not really rebuking, right? This is crazy. Team Mashed Brooks says, dude can't string two sentences together. They probably thought he may refer to himself as senator again. I don't know what's going on, guys. I really don't. Like, all of this is just like, it's just strange. Why would they cut away from doing this, right? Like, again, I'm just going to repeat what my reasoning for questioning all this is. It's basically a greeting. It's basically like all formalities. Hey, how are you? Oh, great. Oh, nice to meet you. Blah, blah, blah. Why would they cut the entire live coverage? It's just strange to me. It's just strange. That's it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to say why. I'm just saying it's strange. All right. Switching gears to a more dark subject. So I have been covering this horrific tragedy. On my main channel, I did a piece on this on what I thought to be the parents. It was actually a mom and her boyfriend that left the children, or her children rather, in a separate apartment 15 minutes down the road to live by themselves with a 15-year-old. And there are more details that are coming out of the story, and this is just absolutely atrociously tragic. I mean, to summarize everything, the 15-year-old was basically like, at I believe it's a son, or maybe it's a girl, but the 15-year-old was actually at their wit's end, and they were like, Mom, I can't take this anymore. Called 911. After 911 responded to the call, then it was found that, the children were malnourished. There was no power, as well as there were the skeletal remains of an 8-year-old boy who was decomposing in front of his siblings. Okay. To summarize it a little bit more, the neighbors did complain that there was an odor to the apartment complex, and apparently the apartment complex, I don't know what happened. I don't know if there were inspections done or what, or if there was any sort of wellness checks, anything, but it basically, it just slipped through the cracks. So now more details are coming out of this story, and it is absolutely atrocious. I'm going to warn you that some of this may get graphic, as I might describe, so please brace yourselves for these details. Siblings, coming from the New York Post, siblings describe witnessing savage murder of their brother in Houston horror house. Chilling details were revealed in court Wednesday about the savage death of an 8-year-old Houston boy whose remains were found in the family's apartment with his abandoned siblings. The children's mother and her boyfriend were held on bonds for hideous crime, as the devastated grandmother of the kids expressed regret for not adopting her neglected 7-year-old grandson. Okay. I'm just going to pause here and say that there is some other details about CPS that I find questionable. The judge sealing the records, the judge, being the same common denominator in the 𝘿𝘬𝘴𝘩 case. If you guys remember that little girl 𝘿𝘬𝘴 who went missing, I believe last year, her body was found, and the same judge that presided over something over her case was the same judge that sealed the records of this CPS case. Okay. So there's something that is bigger that we don't see that is going on, but the system basically failed these kids. Cops found the skeletal remains of Kendrick Lee on Sunday after his 15-year-old brother, Jordan Lee, called police to report the deplorable conditions in which he and 2 surviving siblings had been living for nearly a year without supervision. The children's mother, Gloria Williams, 35, has been charged with neglecting the kids, while her boyfriend, Brian Coulter, 31, was arrested and charged with the beating death of Kendrick. Harris County Sergeant Dennis Wolford said Wednesday that Coulter pummeled the boy to death sometime between November 20th and November 29th of last year. KTRK TV reported. After the beating, the parents abandoned the kids that lived 25 miles away. That's 15 minutes away. During the mother's court appearance, it was revealed that her 2 younger boys, Trevon Lee, 10 years old, and the 7-year-old Javion Kirkland, witnessed the murder and endured abuse themselves. The mother also told deputies she saw part of the fatal attack, but failed to report to law enforcement because her boyfriend told her not to do so, and she feared going to jail and losing custody of the kids, the outlet reported. Now, I cannot, because of the nature of this, again, platform, I need to preserve this platform to deliver this news to you guys. But I'm just going to say this. I don't know why you would not want to just allow the children to be turned over to custody. Outside of just your fear of going to jail is just beyond me. It is absolutely, absolutely beyond me. By the way, her boyfriend had a tattoo, family over everything, tattooed on himself. It's just so ironic. In testimony to deputies, Trevon and Javion reportedly said they saw Coulter repeatedly kick and punch Kendrick until he stopped moving. The boyfriend then covered Kendrick with a blanket, the boy said, and a day after the beating, Williams said she found her dead son under the cover. The mother claimed she tried to stop Coulter during the attack. The boyfriend later apologized, Williams said, and told her he had lost control and punched the boy until he went to sleep. The The Tuesday autopsy revealed Kendrick died of multiple blunt force injuries. Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez on Wednesday said one of the two younger surviving boys was found Sunday with a broken jaw. I just like have to take a moment because it's just so unimaginable. I mean, like the heart that you have to give away to a different type of force in order to do that, you know? How I just couldn't imagine. I mean, I just could not imagine being with such a particular individual as a partner to do that to my flesh and blood, and knowingly that one of them might have an injury and leave them to fend for themselves. I can't even imagine. I mean, this is so heartbreaking. Let me repeat that again, because I know it's heartbreaking, and I know this disturbs your heart, but this should disturb our hearts enough to get into action. Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez said on Wednesday that one of the two younger surviving boys was found Sunday with a broken jaw. Could you imagine just the... Oh, hey, Sophia. Let me make you a mod on this channel. Could you imagine just leaving a baby boy like that, like knowing that they have an injury to fend for themselves and they have no food? I mean, you've got to be like completely turned over. I just cannot even imagine. Gonzalez said investigators believe Coulter caused the injury about 3 weeks ago during a rare visit to the filthy, cockroach and fly-infested apartment. The three siblings were described Wednesday by Wolford as special needs children who were left mainly to fend for themselves. At least two of the boys are believed to be autistic. Very sweet children, very nice, very well spoken. At the time, a 1,000-yard stare at the blankness in his eyes, Wolford said. The three siblings have been placed in custody in CPS. Linda Smith, 71, grandmother to Kirkland, told the Post, "I find myself partly responsible. I should have taken Javion and adopted him. I should have held on to him." I don't have a public comment for that. I don't have a public comment for that because that is just so heartbreaking. Like, yeah, I don't have a public comment for that because you guys could probably tell what I think. So he is charged and he's held on a $1 million bond. Just some of his stipulations. If he were to be released on a $1 million bond, that's right. He's got a $1 million bond. He has the ability to be released. He would be released to the house arrest and forbidden from contacting the siblings of the deceased child, possessing firearms, or consuming drugs or alcohol. Houston justice system. Houston justice system. Houston justice system is all I can say. And also, by the way, did you guys know that the mom actually was being tried for truancy because her children were not in school, and because of the Cocoa Planpocalypse, the school board, I guess, or school association dismissed the case. This is typically how you are able to detect whether or not there's something going on in the household, right? Like, truancy is like one of the signs, the telltale signs that something is going on in the household. And because they dismissed the case because of the Cocoa Planpocalypse, everything was lost. They weren't keeping up with the kids anymore. They weren't keeping up with anything else. I'm just at a loss. And the mom is claiming ignorance in the whole thing. Look at these beautiful babies. I mean, I don't even want to. I don't even want to list. I don't even want to read what she has to say because it's too heartbreaking. What mother can claim ignorance or claim that they didn't know or claim that, you know, that's inexcusable. Absolutely inexcusable. So I'm going to pivot because I just can't. I can't give any light to her even claiming ignorance to this. I can't. So we're going to pivot to the traffic report. Okay. This is where I report on the latest human exploitation headlines. Of course, I would say human traff, but that is also a word I can foresee that's going to trigger a lot of codes and algorithms everywhere. So human exploitation. Kentucky lawyer pleads. Oh, actually I have a better story. I believe it's right here. Oh no, that's it. That's the one. Kentucky lawyer pleads guilty to human traff charges involving 5 victims. An attorney from Northern Kentucky has pleaded guilty to human traff exploitation. You know what? I'll call it traff-sploitation. Traff-sploitation. That's a good one. Human traff-sploitation. That's a good word. I made it up just now. You guys heard it first here on Natly Denise. Unravel with Natly Denise, that is. He's pleading guilty to human traff-sploitation charges involving 5 victims. Robert L. Pohl, 53 of Florence, pleaded guilty to 5 counts of promoting human traff-sploitation, commercial sexual activity. He entered the plea in Kenton Circuit Court. The Kentucky Attorney General's office announced on Friday afternoon. Pohl is sentenced to be he's scheduled to be sentenced December 16th. He was indicted in Kenton County on November 2018 after a 9-month investigation by the Erlanger Police Department and Attorney General's office. Erlanger Police said at the time some of the sex crimes involved children. The investigation into Pohl's activity began when the investigators in Campbell County, who had been involved in the case against former Campbell District Judge Timothy Nolan, contacted Erlanger Police because they had discovered evidence that also implicated Pohl, police have said. Nolan was sentenced to 20 years in prison for human traff-sploitation in 2018. The Attorney General's office said at the time that there were 19 victims in the case, some of whom were minors. The Attorney General's office said other human traff-sploitation charges were still pending against Pohl in Boone County. Court records indicate that he is charged with 4 counts of human traff-sploitation, commercial sex activity, and 1 count of bribing a witness in the Boone Circuit Court case, which was initiated earlier this year. The next hearing in that case is scheduled for December 8th. I'm just going to say this again. Human traff-sploitation happens to victims by people walking from every single walk of life. These are the most elite positions. These are the most noble positions, and they could be people that are janitors, you know. They come from everywhere and every political spectrum. So everybody is affected by this, okay? This was an attorney, which should be in a prestigious, profession, all these things. And still somebody, was able to do this to these children. All right. Next story coming from Tennessee. Sevierville girls located in Clarksville after seen on adult escort website. Man arrested on sex traff-sploitation charges. I like this new word. I think this is going to work good. Metro Nashville police said authorities have located 2 missing Sevierville girls in Clarksville after a man was arrested on sex traff-sploitation charges. Police discovered the girls aged 14 and 17 children. The ages were 14 and 17 years old, were on adult escort website, according to an affidavit. The affidavit out of Davidson County revealed that police received information about 2 missing minors out of Sevierville. Detectives were able to find them on an adult escort website. Some pictures showed a man lying in bed and one of the minors sitting on top of him, the affidavit shows. During an investigation, detectives were able to identify a man, Charles Woods. He was arrested for outstanding warrants on Thursday, but the teens were not with him. The affidavit also shows that in an interview with detectives Thursday, Woods admitted to posting the ads and taking the money via Venmo. He also admitted that it was him detectives were talking to through a texting app. Woods had directed detectives the day before to go to the in-town suites at 2350 Murfreesboro Road. Woods is charged with 2 counts of sex trafficking and has 4 outstanding warrants. He is being held on a $118,000 bond. That's a very low dollar amount bond. You guys see what I'm saying? Like, you're literally trafficking kids, but you can get bailed out for $118,000. The Sevierville Police Department thanked Metro Nashville and Clarksville Police, as well as the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, for helping find the 2 teens. The teens ran away from a group home in East Tennessee on October 20th, according to MNPD, where they last known had been Nashville's Napier-Sudicum public housing area before being found. So I'm just going to go in and reiterate that a lot of times, thank you so much, Red Eye Bradley, for dropping my backup channel. I really appreciate that. These runaways, unfortunately, are the statistic in the whole trafficking industry. The people, the traffickers, or the pimps, they know what to target. They know that these runaways, they come from broken homes, that they have low self-esteem, that they need somebody to care for them. And so they take advantage of that. They take advantage of that scenario and they swoop in. So runaways are always the statistic, and they are always recycled back into this life. It always happens. Always, always, always. By the way, I'll plug it in afterwards. Couple arrested for running a human trafficking ring at massage parlors in Hillsborough and Pinellas. Pinellas? I'm reading it in Spanish because that's how you sound it out. The Hillsborough County Sheriff Chad Chronister announced several people have been arrested in a trafficking ring in Hillsborough and Pinellas counties. Sorry, I gotta catch myself, guys. You know what times we're living in. It's called Operation Shared Hope, and it started in September of 2020 when they received a tip about illegal activity happening in Simply Massage in Lutz. Come to find out, the owners of a trafficking ring were operating out of 12 different massage parlors, including 4 in Hillsborough County and 8 in Pinellas County. Our detectives conducted surveillance and found it highly unusual that the massage parlor only had male customers, said Sheriff Chronister. The sheriff says that those arrested attempted to conceal profits by laundering more than $1 million during the search warrants. Detectives seized more than $750,000 between cash and vehicles. Okay. So that is the that's the traffic report. I can say traffic. That's the traffic report for today. So guys, as you guys know, I am hugely, hugely combative on this issue. I have started, again, I'm just going to throw this out there. If you are interested in volunteering, you have a special skill. It can be remotely, a remote skill, whether it's consulting or content creation or video creation, whatever your skill is. I am taking volunteers at different locations, nationwide, even worldwide. I have had people in Ireland reach out, Canada reach out. We are wanting this to be a big movement in a big way. And this is a big organization that, it have a lot of phases going through. And so I am so excited. I'm collaborating with so many people right now, organizations that I'm in talks with, people that I've already shook hands with. And, this is a big idea, and we're in the planning phases now, but we need to know who is willing to do what and what skill sets are out there. So if you want to get involved, countertraffickingalliance.com fill out a volunteer form. And if you can, please donate to the cause. We are looking into software and different ways to organize this. That way we will be able to better organize and identify needs of the organizations that are already existing. And if there are not organizations that are existing, we start them. We start them in every single state, in every single city, in every single town. Where there are people, there is traffickploitation. There is human traffickploitation in every single city, wherever there's people, every zip code, that's what it affects. So guys, if you are interested, and if you can't volunteer, but you can donate, please go to countertraffickingalliance.com. It is linked in my bio. Guys, I love you. Thank you so much for staying relevant on the news. Thank you for staying informed. Please tell somebody about this. I'm actually going to start streaming here, once my channel, God willing, and please pray for my main channel. Please pray for my main channel. It is on its last leg. I don't know, I'm just leaving it in God's hands right now. I've already submitted an appeal. There's a second strike, and as you guys know, if there's a third, I'm really trying to preserve that channel. I do need the exposure, and I need, I do need that channel. So anyway, please pray for protection over that. Please, please, please. Big prayers up for Natly Denise channel. But be sure to share this stream if you're watching on YouTube. Also, follow me on Rumble if you are on Rumble. Search Unravel with Natly Denise. Also, Natly Denise. There's 2 channels on there. What else? But yeah, be sure to like, share, subscribe, and tell somebody about this. This is nightly news, Monday through Friday at the very least. If the news cycle picks up on the weekend, I'll be here on the weekend. So please be sure to word of mouth, spread this loud and clear. I'll catch you guys in the next news episode. And if there's something big that pops off over the weekend, you guys know that I'm here. I love you guys. Have a great night. And if I don't speak to you until Monday, have a great weekend. Peace out. Love you. And may the Lord bless you.
Thank you so much for tuning into Unravel with Natly Denise. Please give this podcast 5 stars.